So the question for you is, in a school, what does safe look like? What does that mean to be able to get the kids back to school safely and the teachers safely? You've seen our plans, you've had a chance to have a look at what we're doing. We're focused on PPE, testing, cleaning, mask wearing for the children. But, are we focused on the right things? Are we doing enough? Are we doing the right things for this to be safe?
Yeah. But in my impression, you are. What we have said in general, and this goes well beyond schools, is that there are about 5 or 6, but for the purpose of schools, there's 5. One is wearing a mask, social distancing to the extent that you can, and if you can't, then make sure you have a mask, avoiding crowded congregation, outdoors always better than indoors, good ventilation, if you can keep the windows open, if the weather permits. When you have children outside, try to make sure they don't congregate very closely together, make them be aware of safe distances. The PPE that you're talking about, those kind of things are pretty simple. If you look in the CDC guidelines for school opening, I think you're right there, at least from what I've seen. You might want to just take another look and make sure that all the things, but I know that your health officials in Rhode Island are keenly aware of that, and I'm sure making sure that that's what's going. So I think that, I think people need to appreciate that nothing is 100%, and it's how you respond to the outlier that counts. It's important for 2 things. A, are you starting from a good place? The answer is unequivocally yes. Secondly, do you have in place understanding of what you need to do to mitigate to the best as possible the likelihood of there being infection? And you've mentioned several of the things that you have in place. So step number 2 is you're okay. And third, do you have the capability of responding when you do get the inevitable situation of someone being positive? And the answer is yes.
Go into that a little bit. So what would you, if you were a parent in Rhode Island,
right,
thinking about sending your kids back to school, or if you were a teacher about to go, have to go back to work, what are the questions you would ask? What does that mean? Are you capable of responding? Are
you capable of identifying ahead of time a child who might actually be infected, even beyond the testing that you're going to do intermittently in surveillance? When you do have someone who comes to work, to school, and you ask them the question which you should be asking, how do you feel today? I mean, those are simple things that you can do very easily in a few seconds. You have a sore throat, you have the sniffles, you feel achy, you feel a little bit tired, you feel different. And if you do, put the child aside and you make a decision. Do you want to test that child or not? And if you do, then you might want to test them, keep them out of circulation of the other children for however long it takes. If you have a rapid test, you could turn it around. But if they pass that, they have a mask on, even if they are unawarely infected, having them keep a mask on is a very good way to prevent them from infecting other children until you can confirm whether or not they're feeling a little tired today means they're actually infected. Particularly if the other children have masks and the teachers have masks, then you got a double layer of protection.